Have you ever encountered this issue with your Ego power load string trimmer, whether it's the carbon fiber shaft or the new telescopic shaft trimmer, where you go to wind the trimmer line in, you push the button, but it just doesn't wind the trimmer line back into the head? Well, we're going to show you today how to fix this issue if you ever encounter it with your Ego power load string trimmer. The first thing we need to do is remove this black housing piece right here on the string trimmer head. You can remove this by pushing in on the green tabs on either side. These tabs can be pretty tough to push in, so you might have to use a screwdriver or something else to push them in far enough to be able to get them to release. When you remove this cover from the string head, make sure you do not lose this spring out of the center of the string head cover. This will cause you a whole new set of problems if you lose that spring out of there. Next up, we have to remove this nut that holds the string head together. You're going to need a 13mm socket to be able to get this nut off of the shaft. To remove this nut, you're going to use a ratchet and a socket, and you're going to have to hold on to the spool part of the string head while you turn the ratchet to loosen up the nut. You're going to turn the nut counterclockwise, just like a regular nut on a regular standard bolt. And you want to make sure when you do take this apart, you do not lose the nut and you do not lose the washer behind it. Once you have removed this nut and the washer, then you can slide the spool part of the string head off of the shaft. After you have all those pieces out of the way, then you can remove this green piece right here, which is the top of your string head assembly, and here's where you're going to find your problem. This area right here, if you're in tall, heavy weeds, or in this case here it was some of that netting that they put down when they're starting new grass seed or something, you get that stuff jammed up in here, and what it does is it allows that, or it shouldn't say it allows, it stops this green piece right here from being able to slide up and down as much as it needs to when the trimmer line is being wound back in. Without that green piece being able to fully move to its fullest amount of travel, it doesn't allow the spool, which the string is being wrapped into, to ratchet around. So as you saw in the beginning of the video, everything will move up and down, and it's so close to going around there and skipping to the next tooth, if you will, but it just doesn't have enough room. It doesn't have enough travel between all those parts to make everything work. So it's just kind of jogging in place there instead of actually moving forward and pulling the line back in. So after everything's all cleaned out, you can put the top part of your trimmer line housing back on there, and then you're going to put the spool on, then the washer, and then the nut, and you're going to grab your trusty ratchet and socket again, and you're going to tighten the nut up. And now you're ready to put the bottom part of your string trimmer head assembly back on there, making sure that you do not lose the spring, as we mentioned at the beginning of the video. So you're just going to put this back on here until the tabs snap in place, locking this cover or housing, whatever you prefer to call it, for your trimmer line head back into place. Once you have all that on there, then it's time to put some string back into the string trimmer head. So now it's time to push the trimmer line in there. You push it in through the one eyelet and pull it out the other side. And we're going to even up our ends here the best we can so that we can try this thing out. So we got our ends all evened up there. And now the next thing to do is just press the button and see if it will actually wind the trimmer line in. And there we go. You can see that the trimmer line head has more room to move up and down now, and it's able to ratchet that line right in there, no problem. And our string trimmer is ready to use again.